Friends, and welcome back to my channel. It is hopefully going to be a full day of eating. I started recording yesterday and the day went to hell in a handbasket. Yeah, I thought I did a short and screwed that up. Then I was filming just a full day and spend the day with me, and like I said, the day went to hell in a handbasket. So I'm going to attempt again today. We will see what happens. It is just about 9 o'clock. Babies are all here. They are already fed. We are playing trucks, and I am going to play with them for a little while longer, and then I'm going to make my breakfast while they have some independent playtime. Then we'll get to our schoolwork and see what else the day brings for us. Yesterday, we had a really fun day. We did, it was all based on the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. We made little tiny chocolate chip cookies. They were so cute, so cute. We made a paper plate chocolate chip cookie, and we did some other activities with If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So it's Read Across America week, so we're trying to pick one book every day. And I mean, we read every day, but we're trying to pick one book every day and really do a lot with that one book. So anyway, I am definitely going to try to film for you today, whatever I do, my full day of eating. I have a lot I want to get accomplished while they are napping today. Dinner prep.
Joan, here is your reminder. Rinse sprouts.
Alexa, stop. I love Alexa reminders. I really do. It's reminding me to rinse my sprouts. I think today is the last day for the one jar. They can be fed to the chickens. And then I've got other jars started. They really seem to be enjoying the broccoli sprouts. I'm going to order a massive size bag, like from Azure, I think the bag I got from Amazon was 10 ounces. I think I'm going to order like a 10-pound bag. This one should be ready either today or tomorrow. I might let it go one more day. So let me tell you, they're a little stinky. They smell like broccoli. Got a lot of broccoli going on over here. But anyway, so that's that. I am going to get my breakfast in a little bit and finish playing with these little guys and then see what the day brings. So I will show you everything I eat today and give you the points and calories. Okay, there's the finished product. I have my grapes, my breakfast sandwich. It is a sourdough English muffin, 2 slices of Jones's uncured Canadian bacon, 1 egg, and a 1/4 ounce of raw milk cheddar cheese. 3, 4. It is 5 points for my sandwich. I'll put points and calories on the screen for you. I also have a cup of tea. And in my tea, I have 1 teaspoon of sugar, which is 1 point and 16 calories. I'm getting off the monk fruit and just going back to real sugar. I'll talk about that a little bit later on when we can sit and chat. So I'm going to go enjoy this and keep my day going. They're eating lunch. I wanted to get this done because I don't want to do it while they're napping because it's noisy. I had this baguette bread left over from poker Saturday night. So I just put it on a cookie sheet, put it in the oven at 300 for 5 minutes, took it out, flipped it over, put it in for another 5 minutes, and then just let it sit till it was totally cool. So now it is completely dried out. I'm going to throw this in the food processor and blitz it up and then bake it again. And then I have some breadcrumbs, and that way the bread was not wasted. And while the oven was on, I cooked up some shells to feed back to the chickies. So I'm going to do these now while they're eating. Then that way we won't disturb them while they're napping. Okay, there's our breadcrumbs, and now I'm going to put them back in the oven at 275 for about 15 minutes just to make sure they are all completely dried out. I'm just going to spread them out so they're nice and even. And then 275 for 15 minutes, and then I'll cool them and just throw them in my breadcrumb jar. Now that the babies are in bed, I'm just taking this opportunity to freeze up the vegetable soup from last week. Also, the caramelized onion honey butter, some chicken, and I have yogurt going in the Instant Pot. So being productive. I got all of the sausage cut up for tonight's dinner. We're having sausage and peppers. I have a pound of pork sausage, pork Italian sausage, and I also have 6 links of the chicken Italian sausage from Butcher Box. I have 7 peppers and 2 big onions. I'm going to drizzle this with olive oil, hit it with a little salt and pepper, and then I will put this in the oven, and I'll put water in it. I'll put it in the oven covered at like 375-ish, probably for about an hour. Then I'll take the foil off, and I will let it cook for another half hour and turn the sausage just so it gets nice and brown and delicious. So that's all done. Let's check our to-do list. So for today, starter for Jen, one of the deacon candidates in Doug's deacon class, his wife asked me for some sourdough starter, so I need to put that in a jar so Doug can take it to class tonight. Did my whole morning routine. I did not listen to Catechism in a Year this morning. I'm going to do that while the kids are napping right now. I want to make vanilla while they're napping. I have a shirt to make on my Cricut for someone. That'll probably wait till tonight. I made my breadcrumbs, and this is done. You saw me do that. I froze the soup, that's done. Yesterday I never got to the magazine rack, so I'm going to work on that today. Water plants, and then this is I loosely follow the Fly Lady system, and this week is zone 4, which is my master bedroom and my master bath. So these are the jobs I like to tackle. I only spend 15 or 20 minutes once a day, sometimes twice a day if I have the time, doing these jobs, and then I never really have to do a big deep clean because it's a constant cycle. So that's what I'm up to while everybody is napping and resting. Sitting down to lunch, and this lunch could not be more perfect on this cold, wet, yucky day here in the dirty Jers. I'm having a bowl of vegetable beef soup. It's the soup I made last week. This is the last of it that was in the fridge. You saw me, I froze all the other this morning. So we will enjoy that for lunches in the coming weeks, but I'm enjoying this today. Okay, one more thing of dinner prep to do, and that is prepping our fries. I received this as a Christmas gift, not last year, the year before. Doug was so hesitant to buy it for me because he thinks like any kind of food prep or appliance is a silly gift. But I really, really wanted it, and I wouldn't spend the money on it myself because it was a little pricey. I think it was around $80, but all we make is homemade fries. And I can't imagine me ever not making them. They are so easy to make, and they are beyond delicious. It's really not much more work than buying frozen ones, and we just love them. And because this is a stainless steel one with like crazy, crazy sharp blades, it's just so easy. Beautiful fries. Well, that was a really hard potato. I mean, usually it's like not a whole lot of brute strength needed. But these are super hard potatoes. So they are requiring a little bit more strength. The other day I was doing it like nothing. There you go. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way so you can see it coming out. But so easy, so quick. Wait, let's see. Do it this way. I'm making it awkward so you guys can see what's happening. But look how quick. Quick and easy, done. 4 potatoes, which will be plenty for us for dinner. And voila. Now what I'll do is I rinsed them. I washed them before I cut them. But I'm going to put them in a bowl, rinse them again, and then let them sit in water. Oh, I did make a little, I should have probably done 3 potatoes because these were huge. That's okay. I'm going to rinse them and then refill it with clean water and just let them sit in the water. That helps get some of the starch out and it helps to make them crispier. I generally go through and pull all just like the end ones off that are really just skin and not use those. So they'll just sit for a minimum of 10 minutes, maximum of however long. These will probably sit for about 2 hours because it's 2:30 now. And when I'm ready to cook them, I just put them on my air fryer trays, spray them with olive oil spray, throw them in the air fryer. I do 10 minutes, then I rotate the racks, then 10 minutes, then rotate the racks. 30 minutes total, they're done. I salt them, we eat them, they're delicious. So that's how I make my French fries. Well, it is 3:15 and everyone is gone. Everybody's home with their mommies and daddies. So what I really, really want to do is sit and read my book. I got I love Janet Ivanovich. She's the one who writes the Stephanie Plum series about the bail bonds agent. And I did not, her books always come out like in the fall, October, November. I never read the new one that came out in November. It was number 29 and called Rogue something. I don't know. Anyway, it was number 29, but I never read it. So the other night I requested it from the library digitally on, we have what's called Hoopla, and I have it on my iPad. And I got the email last night that it was ready for me to download. So I'm so excited. So I downloaded it this morning and I just want to sit and read it. That's what I want to do. But I'm going to be the good homemaker. I'm going to prep breakfast. We're having egg bites for the next 2 days for breakfast. So I want to get those cooked today so I can just pack them in Doug's lunch tomorrow and the next day. I really just want to read my book, but I'm going to do this. And then that way, if I get everything done, I can sit tonight with a nice cup of tea and in my jammies with a blankie and read without anything hanging over my head. So sometimes you got to do the less fun things. And yes, I'm covered with flour because I was feeding my sourdough starter and got flour everywhere. What else? That's about it. The sausage and peppers are in the oven. We eat a little bit early on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We eat right at 5 o'clock because Doug has to leave for school. So the French fries are soaking. So I'm going to get these egg bites done and just one more thing to check off the list. Still haven't made the vanilla. I need to do that. I mean, it's like literally takes 10 minutes and I just keep putting it off. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to do this, see if there's any YouTube videos I need to watch and look out the door at watch my ladies out there. So that's my plan. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slice up some mushrooms so I can cook those for the egg bites. You can pretty much put anything you want in egg bites. We like mushrooms and Canadian bacon and cheese. Well, cheese. You always have to put cheese in it, I think. I think that's like the binding agent. So that's what we like in ours. Sometimes I put peppers, sometimes I put tomatoes, whatever, but these I'm gonna just do with mushrooms and Canadian bacon. So first thing I'm doing is slicing all these up and then I will saute them all up. And yes, I know they're going all over the place, but I don't care. It's fine. I like to chop off the hard end if there is a hard end. and just wipe the dirt off on a towel, and that's it. So that's all. Okay, in my blender, I have 3/4 cup of cottage cheese, 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt, some salt, and 2 ounces of grated or shredded cheddar cheese. And to that, I'm gonna add 6 eggs. I'm using 7 because I'm using some really little eggs. Some of our babies are still in that little egg stage. Their eggs haven't gotten to the normal size yet, so they're on the small to medium side. Like you can see, like this is a regular size, that's a large. And then we've got, you can see the difference in size. They have cheese on them because this is the bowl I grated the cheese in. But then we've got like this huge one. So I'm just gonna use 7, but it does call for just 6 large eggs. I'm gonna add those to the blender and I'm just gonna blend it all up. So I have my egg bite molds here and I spray them. I mean, I know they're silicone and you probably shouldn't have to spray them, but if I don't spray them, it sticks. And I have my Canadian bacon chopped up. And of course, I will link this recipe down in the description box below. And I'm just going to evenly-ish distribute the Canadian bacon in each little section. Okay, sorry for that sudden cutoff. Adam FaceTimed me just to tell me how the career fair went today and the internships he's applying for. So anyway, I chopped up the mushrooms while I was talking to Adam and I added those in here also. And now I'm just gonna take our egg mixture and pour it in. Not quite up to the top, probably about a little more than 3/4 of the way. Okay, and once we have them poured in, we just put the lids on. These come with the egg bite molds. I will have these linked down below. They're in my Amazon store. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Instant Pot rack. We're gonna set these on there and we're gonna offset them from each other. And then we're gonna lower this into the Instant Pot. I'm gonna have to move you over. I have 2 cups of water in the Instant Pot. Usually when you do things, there you go. Yeah, I know. Classy, Joni. Usually when you do things in the Instant Pot, you only need like a cup of water. With this, you need 2 because we're actually going to steam it. That's what makes them so light and fluffy. So we are just going to drop them in. We're gonna put our lid on. And then we are going to press the steam button here. I'll show you. Gonna press the steam button. We want it on high pressure, normal, and we want it on 8 minutes. And that's it. Once it comes up to pressure, of course, it'll cook. Then we're going to let it naturally release. Okay, you guys didn't know you were gonna be stuck cooking with me all day, did you? Okay, so next thing is the French fries. What I like to do is I think they crisp up better when they're dry. So I like to take a towel, put it down, lay some of the fries out on half the towel, fold it over, and just pat them dry. They do not have to be perfect. I just don't want them sopping wet. And then I will get them on the trays of the air fryer. I just take them. I try to leave a little space in between them, but it doesn't always work. And just set them on the tray. Depends on how big your potatoes were. See, like that one, I'm just gonna toss that because it's mostly skin. I try to fit as many on as I can without overcrowding too much. But the air circulation is pretty good, so I don't worry too much about that. That looks about good. And then what I'm gonna do, I just hold it over the sink and spray it with olive oil spray. I don't salt them until they are done and they come out of the air fryer. That's just personal preference. It's just the way I've always done it. So that's how I do it. You could salt them beforehand. You could put, you know, any kind of seasoning you want on there. We just like plain old salt and ketchup. We are boring. So I'm gonna start the next batch. I think I have more than 3 trays worth here. I don't know who I thought I was feeding, but that's okay. Maybe I'll start some early and just keep them in the oven to warm up. Then that way, there'll be some left over for Doug's lunch tomorrow. So I'm sure he will be taking sausage and peppers for lunch. Oh, yeah, we'll be taking sausage and peppers for lunch tomorrow. So that's all there is to that. Gonna finish this up and give those sausage and peppers a stir. Okay, I apologize for the air fryer noise in the background, but we got that going. I just took these out. They naturally they release pressure on their own. And I am just going to put them out on the cooling rack, take the lids off, and I'm going to let them cool before I attempt to take them out of the molds. You can see how puffy they are. And they are so light and fluffy, they look delicious. So we're just going to let them cool for a while. Then we'll pop them out and we'll store them in a glass container in the fridge until we need them. Actually, I'll pack Doug's complete lunch tonight, including his sausage, and that will be done. Or I'm sorry, his breakfast. So now that the Instant Pot is still out, I think what I'm going to do, I have 2 chicken carcasses. I'm going to throw them in there and make some bone broth. And then tomorrow I should be able to get that canned up. Okay, the egg bites are all unmolded. I am going to leave them on this rack to cool, and then I will package them up. Generally, I think, yeah, Doug takes 4 of them and I eat 3 of them. I think that's right. 4. Yep, Doug takes 4, I do 3. So that is how I will package them up, and we will have breakfast for the next 2 days. I will cook up a bunch of the Jones's chicken sausage tonight and just get it all ready so I can just pop it in his lunchbox in the morning. This is a typical day of Doug's lunchbox, like all this stuff in it. We are very big container people. I have actually been looking for some really nice bento boxes at an affordable price. I want to get stainless steel ones. I don't want plastic, and they're kind of pricey, so I've been kind of watching. This is like crazy. He had vegetable soup in here. He had a roll in here, some butter in here. He had I don't remember. He had he had chips and salsa. He had yogurt. I don't even remember what. Oh, and he had oatmeal in here. This was peanut butter from his oatmeal. Oh, I just realized, did I forget to give him granola this morning? I must have forgot to give him granola. And I don't even remember. Oh, this had chips in it from the salsa. I don't even remember what was in this last one. Can't even remember what I packed him, but yeah, he takes lots of containers to work with him. Grapes were in that other bag. I knew I'd remember. Plus, he also had a banana to cut up in his oatmeal. Oh, and there's containers missing because he also had a container of almonds for his oatmeal. Yeah, he had almond butter and a container of almonds. He had a container of butter. I don't know. Maybe he left some containers at work. I'm not sure. But I will definitely ask him when he comes down from getting changed. He's upstairs getting changed for school. We're about 10 minutes from eating, so I'll show you my plate. It is dinner time, and dinner tonight are homemade French fries and sausage and peppers. You saw me making all this, and it's supposed to be sauerkraut, but that's still in the refrigerator. So yeah, that's where the sauerkraut goes. I will put all points and calories up on the screen for you. Okay, here is the yogurt. I've never done a whole gallon before, but a whole gallon of milk, but worked out well. I got this whole half-gallon jar plus 5. Well, these 3 are full. These are for Doug. I put yogurt, my homemade low-sugar blueberry jam, and then more yogurt in 3 of those. And then these 2 are just half jars. They're for me. And then we'll just top them with a little bit of granola. So they're just ready to go and grab. That's what I love. Like I said, we have the whole jar of yogurt, and then I have half a jar of, this is the whey from the yogurt. You can use this in baking. You can use this in smoothies. A lot of times we feed it to the chickens. They love it, and it's really good for them. So there was my yogurt. Super duper easy to make your own yogurt. You can make it with whole milk, 2% milk, 1% milk, skim milk. So easy to do. The Instant Pot is still going. I have my bones in there for my chicken. I do it for 8 hours. The Instant Pot will only go up to pressure cook for 4 hours. So I have to like redo it again. So before I go to bed tonight, this will go off. I'll put it back on for 4 hours, and then I'll just keep it on warm overnight and then deal with it in the morning. Somebody is climbing up. Ow! Zelda! Somebody just woke up from a nap and is super duper playful right now. So yeah, I think I'll go play with her as soon as I get all this put away, get this all cleaned up, and that's it. I am listening to my rosary for the night. I know, I should sit down in a quiet place with rosary beads in my hand. Please don't come at me. This is what works for me at this stage of my life, listening to it, praying along with it. I know it's not the perfect solution, but it's what works for me. I guess that's it. I will be back as soon as I clean all this mess up, because I want to chat with you about what I started talking to you about at lunchtime about the erythritol. So I'll be back. It's going to be a long video. I am so sorry. Okay, let's chat for a minute. Of course, looking in the camera, don't you love the progression of the day? This morning, my hair was kind of, the way it should be, not flopping out. I had makeup on. My shirt was clean. Long days, my friends, long days. So I wanted to just chat because I kind of alluded to it. And if you're in my Facebook group, the Joan's Pointed Plate group, I posted the article that I'm referencing in the group. I will also link the group below and the article below. So if you want to join the Facebook group, come on over. And if you want to read the article, read the article. So actually, I did not see the article. One of my subscribers sent it to me. And I only read this article. I started researching a little bit, but not in depth yet. But this was enough to scare me a little bit. Now, you all know we started a health journey. My weight loss journey's been since 2018. My health journey has been since like 2020-ish, where we've moved away from processed foods. We've moved away from seed oils. We've moved away from sugar-free and fat-free and that kind of stuff. I'm still hooked on monk fruit. I'm not gonna lie. I use a teaspoon in my tea. Whenever I have tea, I use a teaspoon of monk fruit, and I do use it in some baking. Most of the time I cut it 50-50 with real sugar. Or if the recipe only calls for a tablespoon or two, I just use all. So I do use monk fruit. And I know that it has the erythritol in it. And I really never paid much mind to it. Any of your bulk things like that, monk fruit and stevia, I'm not sure about Truvia, but they have the erythritol in them. Well, let me see, the Center for Cardiovascular Diagnostics and Prevention at the Cleveland Clinic Lerner Research Institute, the doctor there was the lead study author, and they actually came across it accidentally. They were looking at something else and found a link between erythritol. It's been linked to blood clotting, strokes, heart attacks, and death. Now, everything we eat has risks. Everything we do has risks. You just have to decide what kind of risks you want to take. Now, the doctor that did this said the degree of risk was not modest. They went on to say that people with existing risk factors for heart disease, such as diabetes, were twice as likely to experience a heart attack or stroke if they had the highest levels of erythritol in their blood. Now, you might think, oh, I don't use enough to have high levels. If you use a lot of sugar-free foods, if you use a lot of keto foods, then you're probably consuming a lot of erythritol. I'm not going to quote the article. Like I said, I will post it below. I will link it below. But if your blood level of erythritol was in the top 25% compared to the bottom 25%, there was about a 2-fold higher risk for heart attack and stroke. It leads to blood clotting, and blood clots can break off and travel to the heart, triggering a heart attack. They can go to the brain and trigger a stroke. Like I said, you have to decide the risks you're willing to take. The one guy said that it sounds like an alarm, and more research is needed. But what they're seeing, in an abundance of caution, you should probably limit your erythritol. So I decided, not knowing how much, because they're still working on how much and that kind of thing and how it affects other people, I'm just cutting it out. We don't use like sugar-free products and keto products and stuff like that to begin with. The only thing I do use is the monk fruit with the erythritol. And if you remember from my grocery haul, I just bought 2 bags. So I'm going to return those to Costco because we've just made the decision not to use it anymore. 1 teaspoon of organic cane sugar is 16 calories. I'm just going to use that. Like I said, we don't use a lot, and I'm going to try to go down to a 1/2 teaspoon in my tea. I just need a little something in my tea because I drink very strong black tea and I need to cut it a little bit. So I'm going to go down to a 1/2 teaspoon of the sugar, and we do use the organic cane sugar because like regular sugar, like that white Domino's or whatever other brand of sugar there is a GMO crop. Sugar cane is a GMO crop. Now, if sugar is labeled organic, if it's organic cane sugar, it is not GMO. And that is something that is a little bit important to us. If I'm going to have my GMOs, I'm going to have them where I want them. Not in my sugar, not in my oatmeal, things like that. But once again, it's a personal preference. And everybody has to do what they are comfortable with. And I would never, ever chide someone for doing what they are comfortable with. And I would hope that people wouldn't chide me for doing what we are comfortable with. Okay, so the article goes on to explain what erythritol is and how that they found this accident. I'm looking at the article, that's why I keep looking down. How they found this unexpectedly. And they say there are more studies that are needed, but I plan on erring on the side of caution. And they also did a small study with totally healthy people with no risks. I'm looking for that data right now. With no risks and things like that. And it was a very small study. They had them drink a beverage that contained 30 grams of erythritol, and that is the amount that many people in the United States consume. The blood tests over the next 3 days after consuming it tracked erythritol levels and clotting risks. 30 grams was enough to make blood levels of erythritol go up 1,000-fold. So, and that it remained elevated above the threshold to trigger and heighten clotting risk for the following 2 to 3 days. And it says just how much is 30 grams? The equivalent of eating a pint of keto ice cream. So just be careful. If products have sugar alcohols in them, more than likely they have erythritol. You're going to find those in a lot of your keto products, in a lot of your like bar type things, a lot of your diet candy and things like that. And reducing sugar is another way that they label erythritol. So look for sugar alcohols or reducing sugar, and just kind of keep an eye out. I mean, if it's something that concerns you or worries you, or if you already have these conditions, just take a second look at it. Talk to your doctor. I mean, they might not even know about this study yet. It is pretty new. But I, for one, am just going to keep an eye on the studies, and I think I'm definitely going to cut it out for now. Like I said, we don't use that much of it. I really haven't been using it too much in my baking because I just don't like what it does to the baked goods. It gives them that white, funky coating and causes them to sink sometimes. So I'm just using the sugar, reducing the sugar in the baked goods usually, or just cutting them out completely and trying to make less of them. So that's all I have to say about that. Just wanted to put that out there. I just want you to know it's out there. I want you to look at it. Like I said, I've been using it for years, but I just feel like I need to stop now, especially since I'm getting older and who knows what could be going on. So that's that. Just wanted to chit chat with you about that for a minute. Well, friends, that is going to do it for me. Tuesday night is generally my ironing night. I'm tired. I'm not going to iron tonight, and I have my book and I want to read my book. I think I mentioned this. I got it from Hoopla. It's a digital service from our library, and it makes me crazy that it won't go into my Kindle, because I like a book. I like a physical book, but I gotta tell you, the Kindle Paperwhite is so nice when we're down the shore in the summer, just because it's so little, it's so light, and with the Paperwhite, you can read it in even the brightest sun. Like my Nook, you can never do that with. But Hoopla does not support Kindle, or Kindle does not support Hoopla. So I have to read it on my iPad, which is fine for when I'm home, but I'm not going to take my iPad on the beach or anything. So in the summer, I tend to either read what I can get on my Kindle or read a real physical book. So, but for tonight, I am going to read on my iPad and totally enjoy Janet Ivanovich going rogue. So I'm only on like the second chapter, but that's it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.